Hey everyone, welcome to another video. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Irit, and on this channel I share all of my crochet adventures, and I'm recording this kind of close to my previous chat, so not a lot has changed, but I do have a few things I want to show you and talk about. So the first thing is like an update on my blanket. So this is a scrap blanket that I'm just really loving how this project is coming along. I'll show you how it's looking. So I think in my previous video I was somewhere here, and then I thought about grabbing a few. Okay, if you didn't see the previous chat, I'm doing this to use up some scraps, and basically I'm using 2 strands of kind of worsted weight 4-weight yarns, and one of them is always white, or ecru is the color, and I'm using this yarn from Ice Yarns, which is called Macaron, and what I like about this is a completely synthetic yarn, but to me it doesn't have the look of kind of a traditional, 100% acrylic. This is not 100% acrylic. It has a little bit of elastan in it, and yeah, it's 50% acrylic, 47% polyamide, and 3% elastan. And what I really like the look of it because it has a slight halo, but it also has this kind of, to me, a bit of a woolly look. It looks more like a natural fiber than most of the acrylic yarns that I'm used to. And I really like that look. And I think it's also pretty for wearables. So if you don't use animal fibers, or if you're on a budget, you have wool allergy, something like this, I would definitely check this out. I got a bunch of these when they were on promotion, and at Ice Yarns you buy in bulk, so it was like a bag of 8 skeins, and it uses up yarn really wonderfully. And using 2 strands when one is more kind of neutral, I think it really gives the blanket a nice feel, and I will definitely be doing this again. I might even go up to 3 strands and go up a hook size. So this is how it's looking, and I think I will do like just a little quick tutorial because I just love the way that it looks, and it's super easy to do. So I'm just using scraps and that ecru wool, and I'm using also, sometimes you make a project and you have, you use like 10 skeins and you have 1 left over. This is a great way to use it. That's what I did here with this pink yarn that I had left over. And then sometimes you just, you order a bunch of colors for a colorful project, or to see different colors, and you just have like 1 skein from a color and no current project in mind. You can toss that into such a project. That's what I did here with this kind of beigey color. And yeah, and then I moved on again to scraps. And I think especially, if, let's say I have in my living room, I made this colorful circle blanket that I showed in previous videos from, the pattern is from the Secret Yarnery, an older pattern. And a lot of the scraps that I'm using here came from that blanket. So they will really coordinate mostly, if I put both of them on the sofa. I don't know how big this one will be. Currently, this is the width. So, I don't know, I guess a little less than a meter. It's probably around like 90 centimeters, something like this right now, I'm guesstimating. And then the width is, I think it's a good size for like a sofa blanket, or yeah, you could of course make like a bed throw or something like this. So I'm going to finish. I have a few more, not a lot more scraps actually. I have actually this. Yeah, the rest, I have a few more scraps from that blanket, but I'm saving them because I want to use them for the Secret Yarnery Cal. There are 3 more squares, and I'm using also colors that I used on that blanket, so I might need the scraps for the squares. So I'm not giving them up to this blanket just yet, but after I finish all my scraps, I will look in my stash and maybe I'll find some more, you know, single skeins that I don't have plans for, or colors that I'm not crazy about, because it's just, I love the way that it looks. And I also thought if I don't find any colorful skeins that kind of work with this, I might just grab some neutral yarns and continue to do the blanket like that. And I think that would also look pretty when one half is kind of colorful and then the rest of it is more neutral. I think it's kind of like anything goes, and I showed the stitch on the previous video, but I just love it so much. So hopefully you can see how it's looking. This is the right side, and yeah, it's just such a fun project. And it got cold here like really fast in the last couple of weeks, so also making it while the blanket is on me is very convenient. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or 1 crochet hook. So really enjoying this project, and it's coming along very nicely. I think, yeah, I don't want to say halfway done. I might maybe 1/3 of the way done. I think I want it to have a nice size, but we'll see how I feel about it. I don't plan on doing any, I don't think this pattern works. Like, I don't think it'll look good with a border, but I think I'll do either tassels in the corners or fringe on the sides. So probably one of those I will do. So that is that. Now the other project that I'm very excited about is this, but this is just a part of it. So this is a scarf and it's not finished, but this is just like my pattern. This is how it's looking on, yeah, this is the right side of it. So again, it's pretty much that same pattern like the blanket. I just love the way it looks, and to me it has that kind of knitted look to it. And these colors, these are so my colors. So the way that I made this is with an 8mm hook. I used again the Macaron because I have a bunch of it. And again, like double strands, but the blanket is like 2 4 weight yarns, and on this one I'm using Macaron and something, well, most of the rows were done with some sort of like a thin yarn. This is also from Ice Yarns. This was like a winter sale, I think it was. It was one of their sale yarns. So this is in here, it's this area. I just love the combination of these, and this feels a little bit scratchy in the ball, but kind of, you know, worked up. It feels really nice. Yeah, I don't think I'll have a problem putting it against my skin. And then the other one, where are you? And this was also a sale yarn. This was called Neon Orange. It's not neon, it's just a really nice shade of like peach, I would say, salmon. And this is worked up here. This is this section. And then here I just decided to go a bit deeper. I'm not sure it was the best decision, but for that I used one of my favorite yarns, which is a bit thicker than the other ones. And I've shown this one before. So if you're in Europe and you, for any reason, are interested in like super soft yarn that is not from animals, I find like these, you know, acrylic yarns, it's really not a problem to find. Like most online retailers or shops carry some sort of like a nice quality basic acrylic yarn. But those like yarns that have like a halo and kind of mimic that mohair type of look, I find those are harder to find if you're looking for synthetic option or vegan friendly options. And yeah, my experience has been that the kind of the European brands are kind of strong with that option, but I live in Europe, so I don't know what is available in other places in the world. But here, kind of the like fancier brands make really interesting yarns that are vegan friendly, and they are also pricier, but this is like the softest yarn ever. It's like super soft, and I love this look, and I just wish it came in all the colors of the rainbow. It has a nice color range, but it's not perfect. Like, they don't have a good minty or turquoise color, which is, they need to work on that. So yeah, and this is beautiful. So this one is a little bit thicker, so you can see it also kind of worked up a little bit chunkier, but it all works together and kind of gives that little ombre look, which I love. So this is the beginning of the scarf, or this is like the main part, but the other part of it I'm actually weaving, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So I know a couple of you have also found some fun courses at Domestika. Domestika is like an online learning platform with a lot of courses in many different areas, but I have pretty much only taken their craft courses, and they have now, I think it's a relatively new course that is combining knitting with weaving. Now, I prefer to crochet like 100 times, like 99 times out of 100 than knit. And I was suspecting when I saw the class project that it could very easily be swapped, the knitting part for the crochet part, and I was right. She basically knits a very simple scarf, and then she weaves an additional part of it. And I will link you to this course below so you can see. I think it's just easier to see what she's doing there. But I love this idea. I took before a weaving course, like a basic weaving course, also on Domestika, which was very good, with a very nice instructor. Most of the courses there are in Spanish. They have a few, like a handful of courses that are in English, but most of them are in Spanish with subtitles. And that other weaving course was actually in Portuguese with subtitles. So just be aware of that. I don't have a problem with that. The only problem that I have is that I really enjoy, you know, like crocheting, for example, while I watch a course, but with most of the courses there, I can't do that because I have to read the subtitles. So that's the only problem. Oh, they actually do have a newer crochet course that is in English. The teacher is from Finland, and I'm also taking that course. It's less relevant for like what she's teaching exactly is less relevant to what I'm into right now. She teaches tapestry crochet, so very tight, like little thin threads, and it's a really fun course. If that sounds something you're interested in, then check it out. She teaches you how to write a pattern and then crochet it and make, I think the class project is a bag. So I definitely want to play around with that part of the course, like creating a pattern, but probably I won't be making it with like these tiny tight like crochet stitches and, you know, really thin needles. I don't think that's in the cards for me right now. I'm very into kind of like loose, airy, flowy, poofy kind of look. So the scarf project was very appealing to me. So as I said, in that course, she knits a simple scarf if you're completely not interested in knitting, then you might feel like, you know, you're not getting your money's worth from that particular course. By the way, I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm a happy customer most of the time. I think almost all of the courses that I've taken with them, I was pleased with. So this is just like my experience. You do you. I just wanted to say it. Not that these courses are so expensive. It's usually between $10 and $20, all of these courses. And yeah, but if you don't care at all about the knitting part, then I don't know if, you know, that part might be completely irrelevant or redundant for you. But she shows the weaving process in detail, and there are a few stitches there that she uses that I didn't know from the other course that I took. And I really, really love the idea of combining weaving with wearables, because I've talked about this before. I'm very, very interested in combining textures and stitches, and that's a lot easier to do with weaving when you just have, you know, you have your like strand that is on your loom, and then I'm not familiar with all the lingo of weaving, so sorry about that. But then you can use a bunch of different fibers, and you don't have to figure out, you know, different gauges and different hook sizes and everything. You can just work on one piece and very comfortably move around between textures and fibers. So the idea of combining, you know, crochet and, you know, creating, let's say, a scarf or parts of a sweater, and then adding a weaved piece where I can kind of go crazy a bit with the textures and the look of it, is very, very appealing to me. And she shows that in the course. She creates a little weaved part of the scarf, and then she shows how to attach it. It's actually very straightforward, and I just, you know, it was kind of, I think the problem is for a lot of us who just, you know, sit at home, watch videos, maybe buy some books, but don't actually have the opportunity or the possibility to, you know, like really study all of these crafts. Sometimes it's just hard to imagine things that you don't see in front of you. And, you know, I've done the weaving course, I know how to crochet, but combining them in a kind of, let's say, organic way was just not something that I could imagine. I mean, there are, and I consider myself as a creative person. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want, but sometimes you have to see things to know, or to think, oh, that's actually not so complicated, or I could do that, or I could try that. So really excited about that. I'll try to insert a photo of the weaved, like the weaving section that I'm working on. I only just started it yesterday. I first wanted to finish the scarf, so the scarf will be ready to attach the other part to when I'm done. And what she does in the course, and I think I'll do the same, is on one edge of the scarf she attaches the weaving element, or the weaved part, and then on the other she just creates this beautiful long fringes, and that's what I'm going to do. So I ignored the knitted part. I kind of followed the close dimensions. I think this is about 20 centimeters wide, and she knits it, you know, like starts from the narrow part. I just crocheted a chain that was as long as I thought I would want the scarf, and then I just, you know, went back and forth, also to get the more knitted look, because that's what I like. So this is what I came up with. These are so my colors, and then the weaving part of it will also have these kind of colors. So, you know, the ecru, I'm going to use the same strands and then add some. And again, this is a great way to use scraps or yarns that maybe you don't feel so comfortable like using as, you know, like crocheting with them. For example, I'm going to use some of my like furry yarns or fibers. It looks fantastic, and hopefully I will have that piece ready to show you in the next, you know, couple of weeks. It goes pretty fast, especially if you use like larger, chunkier fibers. So we'll see what happens, and I'm excited, really, really excited about that. I would love to try to make a sweater. She shows an image, the teacher, in that course of a sweater she created. It basically just had like the panel of that weave, like the weaving piece of it was just like here, and then the rest was kind of like a regular knitted sweater. In my case, it'll probably be a crocheted sweater, but yeah, I think you could do like a very basic construction and then just attach that part, the weaved part, and make it like a kind of a statement or like a focal point of the sweater. So I thought it was very exciting to me. It seems I kind of want to try everything, mix everything, see what works for me, and also create things. I mean, I like following patterns, but honestly, at the end of the day, I probably want to make things that are kind of more unique. And yeah, I'd really try to make every piece of anything that I crochet. I mean, I guess it's just like very hard for me to commit to, let's say, crocheting a basic gray sweater. Even if I know that I will wear it a lot, it's like something that I feel like, I mean, obviously there's an advantage to, you know, making something like yourself, and I love the process of crocheting, so I get the enjoyment of like actually doing it, but I feel inspired by color and texture and like fun combinations, and I think I would prefer to work on pieces like that and then maybe, you know, buy in a store something basic like, you know, like I'm wearing here, like it's just a simple like turtleneck black vest. It's not something that I think I would be super excited to make myself. So I don't know, I reserve the right to change my mind, and of course this is no judgment of anyone. You should do what makes you happy, but yeah, I think for me it's like I just want to make fun, exciting stuff. And yeah, I hope that this scarf will turn out like I like it. I'm also thinking I should probably try to do something similar more in like gray tones, because I do have quite a few winter clothes that are gray or taupe, so maybe play around with those shades. I think it'll be fun, and I think I can really play then with textures. I have a bunch of like white or ecru fibers or like some furry yarns that I could throw in there, and I think that'll be really, really fun. So we'll see how that goes. I will of course keep you updated. I think that's it. I haven't received any yarn. Oh, actually that's not true. I did order one skein. I just wanted to try, I'll show you. So I ordered this from Amazon Germany. I'm in Austria, and the Amazon that I use is Amazon Germany, and I have Prime, so it's like free shipping even though it's a different country. In Europe, usually within Europe the shipping is, well, on Amazon it's free, but also in other shops, if I shop in Germany, most of the time you can get free shipping or very, very cheap price. And yeah, I just wanted to try this yarn because the colors were so pretty. So this kind of yarn, it's more of like a roving type of yarn, and I find that a lot of shops have something very comparable. Hobby, which is one of my favorite places to buy, have something, I think actually two different yarns that are very, very similar, that have this same kind of look. I'll show you close up. So pretty, these colors, right? This is what got me. So I'm sure you know this. This is Land Brand Landscapes, 100% acrylic. You get 100 grams, 134 meters, 147 yards, 3.5 ounces. And this colorway is called, if you're interested, it's called Coral Reef. And that's basically, this is more expensive. You know, Lion Brand is a US brand. Most of the time it doesn't make sense to buy in Europe US brands. Usually it's cheaper to buy European brands. And I was interested in the colorway. because that's always a challenge for me. I love color changing yarns, but I'm very particular about color, so not most of the time I don't like the colorway or parts of the color, but this one looked very promising. As I said, Hobbii has something very similar. It's called Carnival, I want to say, and I've used it in the past. It's very nice, you know, if you like this kind of like roving yarn. It has a bit of a halo. Sometimes it snags when you want to frog it, but I love the way that it looks for wearables in the winter. And I made a sweater for my 5-year-old, like a rainbow sweater, a colorway that is pretty much identical to what they have here on the label, but I used the Hobbii one, and she loves that rainbow sweater. She matched, like she designed the yarn combination, so it's actually two different types of yarn. The sleeves are like blue, pink, you know, self-striping yarn, and then the body is like this kind of rainbow, and I think it's a little bit hideous, but she loves that thing so much. So I support her, you know, fashion sense. And yeah, I just wanted to see the colors on this, and I really, really love them. You can see it goes from this yellow, like this earthy, it's really the colors I love to paint with. And yeah, this is beautiful. I don't know what I would make, maybe like a scarf actually. That would probably work for me. I'd probably wear a nice scarf. Or actually, this is like not bad, like a slouchy beanie. I could see that. I could see myself wearing that. I think it will look fun with black and also like gray. Yeah, maybe I'll do a slouchy beanie. I love the pattern from Raven's Crochet. Sarah, thank you for that pattern. I mentioned it in the previous video. I made a slouchy beanie for my daughter, and that was kind of a boring, like a gray-black yarn that I used. She loves it, so I'm super happy. But maybe for myself, I'll go with this. I'll show you a couple of the other colorways that I have from the Hobbii yarn. Okay, I can't find exactly the Hobbii one right now. It's somewhere lost in my stash. They have, like, I bought, besides the rainbow one that my daughter loved, but for me it was like a bit too much rainbow. This one is also from Hobbii. I'm pretty sure I bought it at Hobbii. Yeah, I think so. And this is actually the Macaron, I want to say. Again, same kind of yarn. It doesn't feel as nice as the Lion Brand Landscapes, and it looks, I don't know, a bit beat up, but the color are beautiful. So yeah, I would definitely wear this. It actually probably coordinates with that fuchsia sweater that I showed you. Yeah, so, you know, if you can find a colorway that you like, if you're very particular about color, then I think it's worth grabbing it. And I would, like, you know, bite the bullet kind of and pay a bit more if I found like a colorway that I really adore. So I think I see a beanie in my future with this yarn. I think so. Yeah. I don't know if I would enjoy like an entire sweater from this. I love the colors, but I would prefer, you know, like, I don't know if I could do blocks of something like patchwork style. I would probably prefer that, or like a fun pattern, than really color changing yarn. But I guess for a hat, it would be fun. Yeah, scratchy level, bearable. Sometimes hats can get very scratchy, but we'll see. Maybe I can add a little bit, like on the inside brim, a little bit of those nice furry yarns, just so that it doesn't, you know, scratch the top of the forehead. That really annoys me. But yeah, this definitely feels nicer than this one, and I think it's pretty comparable to the Hobbii one, which is also nice. This one, yeah, I don't know, it looks a bit thin. Maybe it's just the way that it's wound. It's a bit too loose, so it looks a bit beat up, or maybe it's just this one skein. The colorway is beautiful, like all these pretty shades of purple, and then it goes into this like peachy color, super, super pretty. in my opinion. Yeah, so I'll try to do, I think I'm more into the like smaller projects with these kind of yarns, or home decor. That could also be really, really pretty. Okay, I've talked too much. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon in another one. Take care, have a great day, bye bye.